Today's another video for the chaotic reactions. Um, like I said, I really like this cruise channel, and they have this new video up. I think the title is "Are We All Sex Workers?" Apparently, it's gonna be a pretty intense debate between those who are pro sex work and versus the anti sex work. So I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'm gonna get into the video. And by the way, if you've noticed, there's a new background. So just trying to make things look a bit more profesh. But yeah, we're gonna get into the video. So yeah, no music breaks in this one today. Sorry, guys.
We are all sex workers.
We are not all sex workers.
As long as you're a married woman, you're a sex worker.
The video already starts off crazy. The first lady is like, "We are all sex workers." I'm like, "Hey, yo, chill. I'm not. Chill."
It says nobody should wear clothes of two different fabrics. You are wearing a cloth of two different fabrics. Does it mean that you are a sinner right now?
This is a suit?
No. Fabric. They are all different fabrics.
I make money from sex.
No problem.
No other thing.
Kidnappers do the same. They make money from it. Doesn't make it.
But I'm helping lives. I'm saving marriages.
I'm helping my family by kidnapping and earning ransoms.
No, you are not. You're just being stupid.
So what about the risk of STDs, STIs through sex workers?
We make it clear every time. Before you sleep with anybody, test that person. It is so bad that when you want to give ordinary head to a sex worker, you expect to use dental dam.
Just a simple question. And how would you feel if you find out your daughter is a sex worker?
Okay, not gonna lie, that was a wild intro, and I think this is gonna be a very interesting video. Yeah, I don't really have much to say, and I really just wanna hear what they have to say. So I'll push on.
Here are the prompts we'll be discussing on today's episode.
Sorry. So the prompts for today are: 1. Sex work saves marriages, not destroy it. I That's a complicated one. It's a complicated one, but as of the way society is shaped right now, no, it doesn't save marriages. It definitely destroys them. Do I think it has the potential to save marriages? I think so. But I think just like it's an option, there are many other options to save your marriage without having to have sex with a sex worker or with someone who is not your partner. So yeah. So it's like, okay, at least with me, the few, like the little bit of thoughts I've given to this, I always ask myself, like, in scenarios where the wife knows she has a lower libido than her husband, and I know that might sound silly to a lot of people, but I'm talking about matured couples where the wife knows she has a lower libido than her husband. So rather than tell her man no, not because she doesn't want to have sex, but because with him, but because she's just not in the mood, because that's who she is, like as a person. I always think to myself, would it not be better? But then, like, I always think to myself, let me finish that thought. Would it not be better if the guy had some sort of sanctioned, like supervised thing with a sex worker? But then I think the problem, which is why I said it's an option that, as much as I've thought about it, I'm like, not really. Because the thing with most men is, and even women, most men and women is, sex easily turns to more than just sex, especially when you're doing it with someone repeatedly. Like it takes a special kind of person for sex to be just sex, right? So yes, she has low libido. Yeah, she wants her husband to still be able to, quote unquote, not when he needs to, without her having to feel like she needs to give him that. But I don't think if I were the woman, would want to run the risk of my husband potentially falling in love with a 30 or like a sex worker. So yeah, but the second prompt is sex work creates jobs and contributes largely to the economy. That one I agree with 100%. Um, Sex work is just like any other. It's just like the thing with sex work is, I think the most main reason why it's dangerous and bad is because it is villainized. Just like, again, just like with drugs, I don't think all drugs should be legal, but I don't think people should be going to jail for like smoking weed or like doing shrooms. Like, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but like I think to blanket villainize all in this case, I guess I was using drugs as an example, but I'm using sex work now. It's I don't know how I see that, because I'm like, yeah, I do believe it creates jobs. And a lot of these girls, I mean, let's not even talk about Nigeria where they don't pay tax. Abroad, they pay taxes. They do. Because if the IRS or the CRA comes to your door, you will need to tell them how you 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 were able to get the money to pay for your $2,000 a month apartment. So they just come up with fake jobs so that that way they can still report taxes to the IRS. But like, I think if we try to reduce the villainization around sex work, it would make it safer for the women going in there. It would make the men more accountable, meaning if you do what you know you're not supposed to do, now you're going to face not just the wrath of her or her pimp, but the law itself is coming after you. It also means the act of pimping can stop because now it's legal, it's been controlled by the government. Like, the I think it would drastically reduce a lot of the dangerous parts of the job, right? To the point where you can now really have a clear distinction between those who are being trafficked and those who are actually doing it as a profession, which will make it so you can actually focus more of your energy on getting this sex trafficking thing to be a thing of the past. So I think that's my take on it. I said, sex work is a sin. No, it's not a sin. Uh, it's not a sin. I'm sorry. Being a sex worker, just like any job, does not determine how good of a person you are. I'm sorry. Please, I'm not. I don't want to bring religion into this. I don't think sex work is a sin. I don't think you trying to do what you need to do to survive is a sin. No, and no, I just don't think it's a sin. Please, leave that one to the wayside. Sex worker or not, or not, sex worker or not, everyone should be respected. This is what I'm talking about. This prompt, I think, should have come before they create jobs and contributes largely to the economy, because that's what it's all about. It, I feel like a lot of people, and maybe I might be jumping the gun here, but a lot of people tend to be bigoted, and it doesn't make sense to me that you see another human being, you can't put yourself in their shoes, you can't empathize, and you just treat them with this disdain and disrespect. Because for me, if you actually see a sex worker as a human being first, you would want to understand, okay, what led you here? Is there a way that community can help? Is there a way the government can help? Like, it's just basic human decency. Like, before all this is sex work is seen, sex work saves marriages. No, just respect the person. Just respect the person. You don't know what they've been through in life that led them to this stage. You really don't know. And like I always tell my brother, there's a reason why a lot of people are cogs in the machine. Like, not everybody is gonna be the output gear or the guy controlling the machine. Some people are just gonna be cogs. And it needs to be okay. Like, I don't know. But no, I think sex worker or not, everyone should be respected. It doesn't matter what your profession is. Imagine if we came out and said, well, if you have a 9 to 5 job, you're a piece of shit. You don't deserve respect. Most people in this world, that's how they survive on a 9 to 5 job that pays them a salary or a paycheck every 2 weeks. And so it doesn't make sense to me. But we'll move on. Let's get into this. I spent too much time ranting on this.
Our first prompt is sex work saves marriages, not destroy it.
So they're doing the first prompt now. So yeah.
So Spice and Obanu, you are the fastest fingers. Please step forward and take the podium.
I love the fact that both of us are married.
Oh, okay. Soul Spice is married. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. And the other guy is married too. I like her name, Soul Spice.
And you have to be married to understand this part of it. Does sex workers save marriage? Yes, they do. Being a sex therapist and being married for over a decade and a half, I will let you know this, that so many men out there are suffering, same as women. There won't be sex workers if they don't have clients. Who are these clients? Married men. Trust me, a whole lot of them. Now, why would a married man leave his house and have sex outside? Different reasons. So one, probably he's not getting it at home. Probably the girl is not doing what he wants her to do. It goes back to religion. Religion tells you, oh, no sex until when you get married. They tell the boy child, don't impregnate any girl when you get back to this house. Don't bring any pregnancy home. But what do they tell the girl child? Don't let a man touch you. Don't have sex. If you get pregnant, that's the end of your life. Now what happens? The boy child gets to experiment. And then the girl child gets to get married as a virgin, being a good girl. And then the moment she gets married, what happens? You expect her to hold the chandelier and do the 360 degree. What she has not learned. What you have learned from different other girls out there. As long
Okay. I agree with no, I won't say agree. I understand where she's coming from. I don't necessarily agree with what she's saying. But I understand where she's coming from. It's I understand where she's coming from. You gotta learn from somewhere. But I think for me the more reasonable take I'll take from her is we need to change the culture generally worldwide we have about sex and our bodies. Like when you're living in a country where they, like she said, they tell you don't get any girl pregnant. I mean, not that you want to get a girl pregnant, but it's what I'm trying to highlight is the fear mongering, right? There's ways to give your children sex education without fear mongering them, without making them feel like, you know, they need to stay away from all things of the flesh. So yeah, tell your child don't impregnate a girl, but give him the means to do that. Teach him what a condom is. Let him know that putting it on is the first protection he gets, not just from impregnation, but from STDs. Let him know that consent is always required when it comes to sex, whether she needs to give it, and at any point if she rescinds it, he needs to know within himself that he has to stop. So because that's it, she can rescind her consent at any point, and it applies vice versa too. um you know, teach your sons all other forms of techniques, pull out, you know, like I don't think this idea of because I don't think it's just about abstinence. I think abstinence is a good thing to teach, but I don't think a lot of people teach her abstinence. I think a lot of people teach just don't do it. It's bad till you get married. But then, like she said, the boy has gone out there. He's laid down some pipe. He knows what he likes and he doesn't like because, well, he's laid down some pipe. But most girls, or not most girls actually, the girl who actually listens to her parents, then get married, and now is in a house where this nigga knows like he likes the reverse cowgirl with the guac guac 10 million. But this baby girl doesn't even know what any of that is. She just thinks all she has to do is lie down there. So, but again, do I think that's a reason for you to step out on your marriage? No, I don't. But then what I think does not necessarily mean it applies to everybody. Different people with the way they rationalize why they cheat. But yeah, so I think for me that's the big debate here. Oh, well, it's not the big debate. Let's hear what this guy has to say because he's already bringing up kidnappers and armed robbers, and I already feel like this is a malicious comparison to compare the act of whatever she said to kidnappers and armed robbers. Jesus.
Because there's that word marriage, sex workers will live for the rest of their lives.
What exists doesn't define what ought to be. The fact that there are kidnappers, armed robbers, and people who sex traffic people doesn't mean that it should be. So the fact that men are leaving their marriages to explore other women outside their marriage.
No, just not men only, please.
Yeah, that's it. Married people.
Sexes, yeah.
Doesn't mean it ought to be. And maybe it's also mentioned the fact that statistic actually says that divorce rates is at 40 to 50%.
40 to 50? No,
Yeah.
like that's wrong. It's higher than that.
Yeah, let's say. But
For every 3 marriages you see, every Saturday, 2 will end up bad.
Okay. So there's also the sense that 50% of people who engage in sex work end their marriages in divorce. So that's to say that whatever the percentage is, 60 or 70, whatever it is, 35% of those people are leaving their marriages based on the fact that they've engaged with sex.
So the question now is, how does sex workers really destroy marriage? Have you been starved of sex for 3 months, 6 months, or a year in your marriage?
No, I haven't.
Exactly. Until you experience that, come back to me next.
Yeah, I think she makes a fair point. I think she makes a fair point. Uh, Again, not that sex is your end all or be all, but baby girl, if I'm married and then 3, 6, 12 months I haven't had sex. I'm not saying I will cheat, but there's definitely a lot of talking we're gonna have to do. And if that talking does not get us to a resolution that me and you are comfortable with, then we need to start considering that maybe we might be compatible in all these other areas, but we are not compatible sexually. And what will be the solution other than us divorcing? Because I'm also not a fan of divorce. So what would be the solution to that? Are we both gonna have like there's people have come up with solutions to this thing. Are we gonna be swingers? Am I gonna go out and find someone just so I can have sex? Like how are we gonna handle this? Because or even better yet, let's sit down and talk about why you don't want to have sex with me anymore. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one I really want to have sex with. So let's sit down and discuss that. Let's go to couples therapy. Let's open up that bag. Let's figure out why for the last 3, 6, 12 months you've not wanted me to touch you. Like I don't know if you get what I mean. So yeah. But let's go on.
There's a Lagos State agency that posted something yesterday, or maybe the day before yesterday. Consent doesn't just end at the altar.
Agreed.
So I went down the comment sections. I see what men were saying. If my wife doesn't give it to me, I'll just go and meet someone that will give it to me. What were they indicating? Most of them said that they will go to a motel and get what they want. Has sex work saved that marriage?
Sex work has I don't know. I don't think this point is gonna work out for you. Because I'm sorry, which would you prefer? That the man assaults his wife, or that the wife says no? And yes, cheating is a shitty thing, but I would rather him go and cheat than him assault his wife or have sex with her without her consent, however you want to use it. So, on that, with that example, if the option is to sexually assault your partner or to just go and find a way to deal with your own sexual urges, I would choose go and find a way to deal with your own sexual urges without having to inflict that trauma on somebody.
When men have the options to pay for sex, it devalues how they feel their wife's consent. Because the wife's consent, they realize that if you don't give me what I want, I'll get it somewhere.
It didn't occur to you that only men wrote those messages, not women. Why did women come out to say the same thing?
I'm talking about men here.
Exactly, because men have the boldness to talk about it. Women don't. The same way men cheat, women do cheat too.
Yeah.
But you see, we don't have the balls yet. Oh, sorry. We don't have the boobs yet to say the same thing men say.
I like Soul Spice. I actually thought I wasn't going to like Soul Spice. So far, I'm liking Soul Spice. She's giving me I'm a central vibe. Everybody's gonna collect because I think what she's saying is right. A lot of those niggas are just bold. Women fall. It's like the fallacy that is mostly like okay, yes, it is mostly men who commit domestic violence, but to then attribute that whatchamacallit, to then attribute that stereotype as just a man thing, it means you are ignoring the 30 to 40% of cases where it's actually a woman who is committing the domestic violence. So what are we saying? Like, it's the same thing here. Yes, it's only men that came out to write it, but does not mean women who have higher libido than their partners don't step out. Does not mean women don't cheat. I like Soul Spice.
On social
sex
media.
The way men do. Let's be factual. Majority of the people that pay for sex are men.
Says who?
Majority. You
Says
can
who?
facts. It's majority. Women don't like a married woman can cheat with her gay man, but it's very rare to see a married woman.
Oh, so you're saying women get it for free? Oh, I get it.
Exactly.
Okay. So what makes them different?
What we're talking about is sex work. If you decide to be promiscuous, like sleep with someone because your husband is not giving it to you, that's fine.
So now we judge. So now you are judging a woman like you because she's getting paid for enjoying herself, and then you're not judging the megad who is doing it for free.
No.
Don't forget, he's going to get paid too, one way or the other, either by salary or by incentives.
I'm not judging someone that is having sex because the person wants to. I'm judging someone that is selling their body for money.
What about megad who is doing to Oga's wife?
No, that's not direct
He's not selling his body. Okay, he's giving up his body for free.
The megad stuff was.
I think, like I said earlier, I agree with this lady. But I agree in the sense that she's admitting the fact that the industry is not regulated. She's admitting the fact that the industry is a criminal industry. I'm guessing she's alluding to the sex trafficking. I think where me and her differ is somehow she hears all of that and she thinks, well, at least she hasn't mentioned yet that the solution could potentially be decriminalization and regulation. Nobody is saying things shouldn't be illegal. We are saying decriminalize them and regulate the industry. So you protect the sex workers, so you can punish those who offend. And so that protecting the sex workers means not just making sure they are safe and the people they are with are safe, but also providing them with things like mental health care services, family planning, contraceptives, and like, so I really don't understand what you're saying. I do. Like, I just don't think, like, we somehow can both see that the industry is problematic, but when you see that, you go, oh, everybody just needs to stop doing this stuff. But when I see it, I'm going like, oh, is there a way the government can help, policies they can implement, things they can do that could potentially help us figure out the situation? I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I think that's where I'm at. So let's go on.
My name is Obona Princess. I'm a businesswoman. I run a business, classishades.ng. Having sex with someone shouldn't be a service that should be paid for. Sex should be highly consensual. If someone is paying for something, the person has a right over you for a certain time. That's the reason why it's very hard to prove rape cases when money has been exchanged. Majority of the sex workers are violated. Majority can be violated. Majority of them are not fully protected. The industry is not regulated. The industry is a criminal industry. It's done in a hush-hush system. There is no system in place to assure that the sex worker is sleeping with someone that has been fully tested.
Our next prompt is: sex work creates jobs and contributes largely to the economy.
Sex work cannot create job, neither can it contribute to the economy. In the first place, it's not a
Broski,
legal
sex work is
business.
not a
It is.
legal
Do you
business.
understand? It's
Not
not
in
a
Nigeria.
legal
It is a
business.
legal business.
If you really look out, there's this scenario where all these girls that stand on the street, police do go around when they are moving in the night, they pick them.
That's
They
bullying.
That is not bullying. That's the police doing their job. Unfortunately, because it is illegal in the books, and this is why I really hope somebody touches on this topic. I really hope so. This is why it needs to be decriminalized and regulated. Because yes, police does even from where I'm coming from in Canada, police, yes, they will round you up, they will pick you up. Don't do that. It's illegal.
arrest them, they lock them up in the...
That's bullying.
This
Fact check. Nigerian police do arrest sex workers, even though voluntary adult sex work is not explicitly illegal in much of the country, with many arrests based on vague charges like loitering or public nuisance. Such arrests have been overturned by courts for lack of legal basis. Though brothel keeping, pimping, underage prostitution, and trafficking remain criminal. Fact check.
business. It's nowhere in the sections that it is illegal. It's not illegal business.
You made the wrongest choice, by the way.
So I heard your opponent talk about sex not being legal and all. And I ask, has any of you been to Amsterdam? There's a place called Red Street. Now, this particular street, right, or a community, so it is strictly for prostitution. And this is a great site for Amsterdam as a place. People go there and it adds to their economy. So you see girls in show glass, you have all sorts of things. Couples, married people, singles go. You cannot go to Amsterdam and not go to that place. So tell me, how is it not contributing? Are they not buying food? Are they not buying clothes? Are they not paying rent? So how are they not adding?
I don't know. I think they should have picked a better team for this.
Sex work is a sin.
In the book of 1 Corinthians 6, it is written there that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Why will you defile the Holy Spirit? You allowing men to sleep with you, use your body anyhow, it's defiling the Holy Spirit.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah, you can.
We are all sex workers,
Yes.
regardless of how you see it.
We are not all sex workers.
Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Sex
I think this is the point at the beginning that Soul Spice made that I don't agree with. No, a married woman is not a sex worker. Please, don't even try and insinuate that for my future wife, whoever you are. Soul Spice, as much as I like you, my wife is around, and me and you are chatting, and you call her a sex worker. If she doesn't slap you, I will. And I'm giving her the first dibs on the slap.
expect to happen in marriage, right?
Yes.
So as long as you're a married woman, you're a sex worker.
No.
Here's the difference.
I disagree.
A sex worker in marriage is being paid upfront for the rest of her life. That's what we call bride price. Why are you paying bride price for? Why are we not paying groom price?
On this payment of buy price thing, don't be like these guys now, so spice. You just brought up Netherlands to use as an example. Payment of bride price is a thing that is unique to Nigerian or quote unquote African culture.
Everything you do before marriage can be done without getting married.
The Bible says
The only reason why we get married and we walk down the aisle for our parents to give us out to the other person, okay, this is the person we are having sex with for the rest of our life. That's what marriage is for.
No.
Nothing else.
No, Soul Spice, I disagree with you here. It seems you two do not understand what marriage is about. Marriage is not so you can walk down the aisle and say, Mommy and Daddy, this is the person I'm going to have sex with for the rest of my life. No. The reality is nobody should be giving a fuck about what you're doing in your bedroom. When you are getting married, the reason why you walk out and say your vows in front of your friends, family, and your loved ones is because you are making that promise and they are your witnesses in the house of God or in your house of worship, in sacred ground. You are making this promise to this person that from this moment forward, from the moment I say I do and you say I do, we are now one. We are now a unit. We are now a family. It is not so that I can tell people who are there present, oh, here's the person I'm going to have sex with for the rest of my life. That has never been the point of marriage. Marriage is an act that takes two individuals and bonds them as one. Legally speaking, spiritually speaking, mentally speaking, emotionally speaking. Okay, maybe not emotionally. But you get my point. Is it takes two individuals and bonds them as one entity. They are now a family. They are now a unit. It is not so you can show off your now permanent sex partner for the rest of your life.
So I said the reason why we believe that sex work is a sin is because fundamentally the Bible explains that sex is to happen within marriage. So the idea is that sex outside marriage is wrong, sex within marriage is right. Also, we also understand, statistically speaking, that there is a certain level of damage that happens to people when they begin to engage in sex before marriage. So there's a sense in which a guy who has like 10 body counts now can also say that he begins to compare the next person based on the 10 people he has experience with. And then he struggles in making a choice on who to settle down with. Also, and within the confines of this conversation, which is sex work, the idea is that if you begin to engage in sex work, what happens is you're exposing yourself to damages. And the reason why we say it's a sin is firstly from the place of the soul, and secondly from the place of the body.
Coming religiously in the Bible, there were two instances of two prostitutes who helped save people. One of whom, her name remains in the lineage of Jesus Christ up until date. There was a story of the adulterer in the Bible where Jesus said, "He who is without sin should cast this stone." Nobody could, because at the end of the day, we are all sinners that are trying to get into the good books of God. Yes. And at the end of the day, prostitution is forbidden in the Bible, yes. But Jesus Christ interacts with prostitutes, which shows his love and forgiveness.
And our final prompt is, sex worker or not, everyone should be respected.
The golden rule. I read the whole Bible and it's summarized into, it's succinctly summarized into that one sentence. Do to others what you want others to do unto you. It is that simple. You don't want people to steal from you, don't steal from other people. You don't want people to lie to you, don't lie to other people. You don't want people to disrespect you, don't disrespect other people. Now, to be a bit more nuanced, does this mean if you give respect, you might not still be disrespected? You will. But that's the whole point of the statement. It's a golden rule, meaning even when you give and you don't receive, you still give because that has to be who you've decided you want to be. Of course, again, like I said, more nuance. You will add nuance to all of that. The way you will handle that will be different. When, for example, if you're in a workplace to if you were with friends or if you were with family. But the point still stands. So I'm gonna push through all of this.
To end the show cordially, we encourage you guys to step over to each other's stands and give some cordial greetings.
No.
Yes, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, it's time for shaking hands time. Sorry, guys. It's just it droned on and on and on and on. Okay, guys. So that's the video for today. I know. Like I said, I wish they had better people on there, but you heard their points. So engage in the comments. I really want to hear what you guys think. Like, look through the prompts. Let me know what you think. Do you actually agree with any of the prompts? Do you disagree with any of the prompts? Look through it. Go watch the original video on Cruise. I really like what they're doing. And yeah, that's really gonna be it. So we're gonna wrap up now. So yeah, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. and have a good day. And be nice in the comments. You thought I was gonna forget that. Be nice. Bye.
New videos uploaded every week. So subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoy the journey.